It's been about a year and a half. 97%, say this again, it's not a mistake. 97% of our young people who come in between 15, 16 to 24 years old are leaving our criminal courts of their first case without any criminal record, so that they can get a meaningful second chance, and not a second chance where they've already been convicted. We're doing it in ways that keep our community safe, but also going to give our young people a major labor here. I just want to shout out 32 BJ, fighting for labor. One of the things that I've also done as the DA, and with this, any questions I'll take them outside, because I had to give Flateau back the mic. But one of the things that we do is that your DA's office is fighting for working class people. We fight for people who get harassed by tenants who get harassed by homeowners. We're fighting this deed fraud, and we're working to make sure that regular, ordinary people are not cheated from their hard-earned service, especially our seniors. Thank you, everyone.
So next we have Councilmember Robert Cornegy. He's gonna give us some information about the third-party transfer.
Good evening, Bedford. So because I saw you at your block party live this summer, and I had a great time celebrating with all of you, but we are absolutely unequivocally back to business, and I brought some information about the third-party transfer program. How many people got a chance to see the hearing that we held on the third-party transfer program? Anybody? At least 6 people said they saw it to me, which means that you got to get out more often. It was a 6-hour hearing that we held, which a lot of things were uncovered in that hearing. We found that the program was racist as it related to communities of color, and the targeting of homes where there were no homes in Staten Island that were targeted, but in communities like ours, it seemed to be that was the disproportionate effect of third-party transfer. But I do want to clear up some numbers, because there are numbers going around that just aren't true. So for example, in total, there were 420 properties selected citywide for third-party transfer. Only 210 of those programs were actually found to be statutorily distressed. What I do want to focus down on is what happened here in Bedford through third-party transfer. So the third-party transfer program, which was really designed to help families who are in large buildings where there had been disinvestment from the landlord, and where the landlord had walked away and wasn't providing services, those large buildings, it was found by the city, it was best to transfer them to a third party, to have them renovated, managed, and then given to the tenants at below market rates. That was the program that I understood and I signed for. Nonprofits like Bridge Street Development Corporation and Impact Brooklyn had a majority of those, and we visited those and saw that there were families who were happy that their kitchens and bathrooms had been done over. What happened was, in that process, smaller buildings got caught up in that process. And we were able to prove that it was actually stripping Black families of their wealth by equity in their properties, by transferring properties for little to no amount of money. But I do want to say that the amount of properties that were transferred in the 36th district, there were 10 properties that were transferred. 5 of them we got back because we proved that they were in the program incorrectly. One of them was Marlene Saunders' property. 2 of the properties were actually vacant lots. So there were actually only 3 properties that were transferred that we're still reviewing to make sure that it went through the right process. So these large scale numbers that are being thrown around aren't true. My office worked diligently to make sure that there weren't the large number of properties like in other districts. Also, I just want to point out that we have legislation in to protect against these things ever happening again. There's 6 pieces of legislation, a suite of legislation that I've offered. One is to remove all tax class 1 properties from inclusion in the city's TPT program. So any property that's 4 families or under would immediately be removed from review or inclusion in any third-party transfer programs. We believe that's going to pass. Then we require HPD to clean up all data as violations when counting property as distressed. We believe that'll be passed. I have another bill. Years, because that happened because the statute that was written for third-party transfer is 30 years old. And it was written when there was large-scale disinvestment, when people were walking away from their properties and land. So that doesn't apply now. Real estate boom in our area. There's another piece of legislation that I have. You know that Marlene property, who's a friend to this community, was transferred for under $2,000 worth of taxes. My bill would say that you can't even be considered for third-party transfer unless you have $100,000 worth of violations, as long as they're not life-threatening or health-threatening violations. And then the last bill is a local law to amend the administrative code of the city of New York. This bill will require the Commissioner of Finance to provide documentation of all outstanding arrears for any property subject to third-party transfer. So instead, members, to get what we would have an ongoing or rolling list of properties, tax arrears or water arrears, so that our offices, in conjunction with our nonprofits, could reach out directly to those homeowners to ensure that they didn't wind up on the third-party transfer list. Now, none of these bills is for what we've already seen, and we're not just satisfied with going forward. Look at every single 20 years through third-party transfer to make sure that nobody has been defrauded out of their property. Now, if you have any questions, in-depth questions, I want to thank Community Board Chair and its membership for allowing me to give this brief presentation today. But tomorrow we'll be doing an in-depth look at third-party transfer right up the block on Kingston at, let me give you the address. We are going to be at the historic First Church of God in Christ at 221 Kingston Avenue, and that's going to be moderated. That panel will be moderated by Bob Law. Any of you know who Bob Law is? And Ann Tripp. I know y'all know who Ann Tripp is. So we have those 2 moderators who are going to help us go through third-party transfer, deed theft and deed fraud, and the lien sale list, all of which are conspiring to rob Black and brown families of their properties and their values. So I look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow. From 6 to 9, I want you all to meet me at the historic First Church of God in Christ in Crown Heights at 221 Kingston Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay, we have several representatives of elected officials here. Before I call up the elected officials and others, I just want to recognize we have representatives from Mercy College here. Mercy College replaced the College of New Rochelle, which went out of business. So Mercy College is here. And I think they're going to speak a little bit later. Okay, so we have, in this order, if you could please be ready to speak and keep your remarks. I'm sorry, the district manager also let me know, I forgot to mention HPD, the New York City Housing Preservation Development Department is in the back of the table, back there. Okay. So if you could please be ready and keep your remarks 2 minutes. From State Senator Montgomery's office, Stephanie Zinnerman. From Controller Scott Stringer's office, Nicholas Perry. And from Assemblyman Eric Delan's office, Karen Chubb. Stephanie Zinnerman. Okay, so we're going to go to Nicholas Perry from the Controller Scott Stringer's office. 2 minutes, please.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Nicholas Perry. I'm a representative for our New York City Comptrollers. I hope that everybody had a great summer this summer. If you would like to get in touch with the New York City Comptroller's office, you can all contact me directly. My number is of 499-0749. And I'm just going to announce two events that we're having this month. Everyone is invited around the city. On September 24th, the New York City Comptroller's Office is hosting an African Immigrant Heritage event. It's going to be at Curtis High School at 105 Hamilton Avenue in Staten Island. And we're also having another event celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. This event will be on Monday, September 16th at the Sugar Hill Children's Museum of Art and Storytelling at 898 St. Nicholas Avenue in Harlem. I left flyers on the table in the back, and we hope to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. Karen Chung.
Good evening. My name is Karen Cherry. I represent Assemblyman Eric DeLon. Just a brief announcement. We have free legal services coming to the neighborhood in the office, and it's dark. I can't see. I'm sorry. It's at 366. Right, the light right there. I can bet you. You know, when you're over 50, you lose a little light more. If the mobile van will be out. The health center, we have 2 dates, October 2nd and December 3rd, but we're going to be taking appointments. So I'm going to give you the telephone number. If you're having problems with housing, public benefits, disability, healthcare benefits, identity theft, debt management, consumer credit, immigration, domestic violence, divorce, custody, employment, and advance plan, please give the office a call if you're in the district so we can set up our appointment for either October 2nd or December 3rd between the hours of 10 and 3 p.m. Again, my name is Karen Cherry, and I'll leave the telephone number to the office, which is 718-386-4576. Again, that's 718-386-4576, and I have flyers on the table, and I'll walk around. I'll be here for a little while. Again, welcome back, and have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Our community partners could please be ready in this order, and if you can keep your remarks at 2 minutes. 81st Precinct Council President Daniel Fisher, Brooklyn Neighborhood. Okay, before we get to the community partners, but if you could please be ready up in the front. From Brooklyn Neighborhood Services, James Gerard. Before we have those 2 community partners, we have a representative from Councilmember Alika Anthony Samuel's office, so he's going to go first.
Thank you very much, Chair. Hello, what's going on? CB3, pleasure to meet you guys. My name is Christopher Augusto Lebron. I live in Crown Heights. I'm the new Legend Communications Director for Councilmember Anthony Samuel. A quick update from the summer. I hope yours was blessed and rejuvenated. I know mine was. I'm very happy. First, budget 2020, CB3 received $1,000 from the adopted 2020 budget. The speaker also renewed the budget initiative, providing an additional $42,500 to the community boards due citywide to use for other than personal services. The New York participatory budgeting process has begun. In the back, you can pick up a budgeting process idea card. Please hand that over. Fill it out. You can also go to ideas.pbny.org to learn more. You can just go to pbny.org. Last year, PS5 received funding for a bathroom makeover, and over $1 million is distributed in the 41st Council District through participatory budgeting. District Office Services covers providing assistance in the district office on Wednesdays. So if you're looking for affordable housing help and application help, please come to that office. It's throughout the entire day. And every Tuesday and Thursday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., immigration services are provided at our district office by appointment only. So if you're looking to have an appointment, you've never reached out before, please contact 718-953-3097. Additionally, on September 21st, if you're looking to apply for citizenship, John Jay College is hosting an event from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can call 646-664-9400 for an appointment to see whether or not you qualify for a waiver. Hearings, September 4th. The council member hosted a hearing on accessibility in nitrogen facilities. Other many things that were brought up were elevator failures, elevator replacement and repair. Excuse me 1 second. As well as wheelchair ramp construction and the process for retrofitting apartments to become more accessibly friendly, as well as the number 504. Last thing, very quickly, in August, we were proud to pass 3 bills. Bills 1335, it provides social services within job career centers, as well as the family services. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. LeBron. Thank you. We were just rejoined by a representative from State Center Development at Montgomery's office, Stephanie Zimmerman.
Good evening, Community Board 3. How are you? Did you have a phenomenal summer? Yes, well, excuse me for still looking like summer, but it was a busy day. So, I have a couple of updates for you all. This coming Saturday, the Senator, along with Assembly Member Tremaine Wright, and the Brownstoners of Bedford, Stuyvesant. How many Brownstoners do we have in the audience tonight? Woo-hoo! Yes, so we will be having an event in support as a rally for homeowners. And it will be at the Community Room at Interfaith Hospital, 1545 Atlantic Avenue. It is this Saturday, September 14th at 11:30 a.m. Please join us. We have a new community liaison for the senator. Her name is Carolina Nunez. You may have seen her walking around. Carolina, where are you? Turn around so everybody can see you. She's right there. She's got great information for you. So the senator, along with Shaka Cupis Robbins, worked on a homeowners report for you, and it is all of the information that we have gathered after the hearings for TPT and D theft. So everything you need to know about what our recommendations are and what the next steps are in this newsletter. They're going to discuss this also on Saturday, so please come out. In the future, Catalina will be making announcements, so please give her a warm welcome. She's a little nervous because everybody knows about Community Board 3. So welcome her. Good to see you all, and I look forward to this season. It's going to be awesome in Bedford.
Thank you, Ms. Zimmerman. So we're going to have our community partners. First up will be Dan Fisher from the 81st Precinct Council, followed by James DeRock from Brooklyn Neighborhood Services. And if you could please stand over there for the light and the live stream. Thank you.
You don't have to tell me twice. All right, 2 minutes. Hey everybody, how y'all doing tonight? That's right, it's me, Daniel G. Fisher, the president of the 81st Precinct Community Council, and that's how I like to start off my meetings and find out how you all are doing, get the energy going. But I want to take 20 seconds to thank Richard Plateau, the chair, and the board for bringing us out tonight, because it's wonderful, and he honored my request. I needed a bigger arena to talk to people. So thank you very much, Richard.
Okay, we don't add to your time.
All right, so getting on to business. I hope everyone had a great summer. It's been echoed by every other speaker who's come before. I'll get right into it. At the 81st Precinct Community Council start tomorrow evening, the second Tuesday of every month. And we're located at 1958 Fulton Street between Ralph and Howard Avenues, right across from the post office, right up from the right end. I'd like to see all of you at our meetings. We take on a police slant, a safety slant. We have our 81st Precinct Commanding Officer attends every meeting, or one of his delegated captains are there to answer issues and questions directly and make things happen. He couldn't do the great work without us and without his team. I want to give a shout out to Detective Narcisse from Community Affairs, who's in the back of the room. Detective, wave your hand, please. Thank you. I couldn't do all the great work without him. Our next meeting will be Saturday, October 8th. We'll have our turn up for our season, where we're doing a lot of events, like our Thanksgiving Day dinner for seniors. We're taking on also a healthier slant this year. We want to do more events that are health conscious for our community. We have a lot of health issues in the back. Our meeting, and then next month, October 8th, and then the month after that, November 12th. And look forward to more announcements from the 81st Precinct Community Council. Welcome. Have a great year.
Thank you, Dan. So next up, we're going to have James DeRock. He's going to be followed by Police Officer Charles. You got to speak, Officer Charles. If you can please be ready. to be followed by, from the 81st Precinct Council, Detective Narcisse. Are you speaking? Detective Narcisse, you gonna speak? Okay. And those two gentlemen will be followed by Dr. Brian Johnson from the Mercy College.
Thank you, Abraham. Good evening. Bedford, Stuyvesant. I rise tonight to speak on behalf of the board for the Brooklyn Neighborhood Services. Now, that's a name that you probably don't know very much about, but we've been doing business in Brooklyn for almost 40 years. We changed our name about 3 years ago, and thanks to your support, your continuing support, and that of our elected officials, Brooklyn Neighborhood Services is as strong as it has ever been. We have two events that we're inviting you to come out for. On the 14th, which is Saturday, September 14th, we're having an event at our new headquarters, which is at Nazarene Community Center, which is located at 506 McDonough Street. Between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m., we're going to be there providing a housing resource fair. We invite you to come out. There's no fee, there's no application. We do like for you to call, and I'll give you a number before I leave for RSVP or to let us know you're coming. Secondly, on September 19th, we're doing a networking event and community appreciation event. At that event, we will be recognizing your community manager, Mr. Henry Butler, and our elected official, Mr. Robert Hornaby. There's no fee, there's no ticket. We're asking you to come out. It'll be here at Restoration. Again, September 19th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Please come out. Also, on the 14th, the event is from 11 to 3. I promised you the RSVP number. That number. And that's really just to let us know so we can plan for how much to prepare. 718-919-2100. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
You just made it under the line. Thank you. Police Officer Charles.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Officer Charles from 79th Precinct Community Affairs. I bring greetings from Deputy Inspector Minch, the commanding officer of the 79th Precinct. And I will make sure I keep my presentation under 2 minutes. So I just wanted to formally invite the community to our 5th annual Detective Lou and Detective Ramos Community Day. It will be held on Myrtle Avenue between Nostrand and Marcy. It's in honor of the 2 police officers who were killed back on December 20th, 2014. So we'd like to bring the community together with the police and have a big event, basketball tournament, softball tournament, NYPD rock wall, and many vendors will be there that day. So the event is from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And once again, it's on Myrtle Avenue between Nostrand and Marcy. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Detective Narcisse.
Good evening, everyone. Detective Narcisse from the 81 Precinct Community Affairs Office. We just want, on behalf of my Deputy Inspector, with Stuyvesant, we just wanted to wish everyone a happy fall. We wanted to make certain that everyone had a good summer. So we'll be having our community council meeting tomorrow at 1958 Fulton Street at 7 p.m. And we'll also have our 81 Precinct Clergy Council on September 16th. That's the third Monday of the month at 7 p.m. at Good Times. That's located at Fulton Street and Malcolm X Boulevard. Okay, so just welcome back from the summer. We're happy to be welcome.
Thank you, Detective Narcisse. So last community partner is going to be representative from Mercy College, Dr. Brian Johnson. And again, they took over the leash from the College of New Rochelle here.
Greetings, everyone. Greetings, Bed-Stuy community. Thank you, Community Board, for allowing us to greet you on behalf of Mercy College. My name is Brian Johnson. I serve as the Vice President of the now Mercy College Brooklyn campus, also the Mercy College Manhattan campus, as well as Mercy College, which will now be in Harlem. You will see our table in the back. We encourage you to learn a little bit more about us. We will tell you that we're one of the largest private minority serving institutions in the state of New York.
I want you to know that we have a deep admiration to connect with the community. If there are programs and degree programs and things that will maybe keep us here a little longer, we would love to hear those ideas. We have a table in the back. You can reach me at mercy.edu. Brian Johnson, Dr. Brian Johnson. I'm a big admirer of this community. We hope to be able to remain here for some time, and we really want to be community partners with you. And I admire Bed-Stuy. I'm all the way from Alabama, and I know about Bed-Stuy, and I'm a deep admirer of Bed-Stuy. So I just wanted to say that to all of you. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. We look forward to a long and fruitful relationship with Mercy College. We have one last community partner from the Brooklyn Public Library, Taina.
Thank you. I'm just trying to speed it up for you, Richard. Good evening, everyone. Love to fellowship with you all under the stars. My name is Taina Evans from Brooklyn Public Library. I just really have two announcements. As we know, it's back to school season, and we're going to have an open house at all Brooklyn Public Libraries September 28th from 11 to 3 p.m. So all Brooklyn Public Library locations, except for those that are open on Sundays, which is the Borough Park branch, the Kings Highway branch, and the Ryder branch and the Midwood branch are the only ones that are going to be open on Sunday. All the others will be open on Saturday. We also have an exceptional child resource fair. So if you have, or you're caring for, or you know someone who has a child with disabilities and need to navigate the school system, their IEPs, or they need to get further direction on how to care for someone within the school or within their home and family lifestyle, there's a resource fair that's also Saturday, September 28th, and that's going to be at the Central Library. That's all I have to say. Hope you have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Ms. Evans. So we're going to move the agenda. Next item will be the district manager's report to be given by Mr. Henry Butler.
Good evening, good evening. Well, the first announcement I want to make is, I guess I have to be the bad guy. Are we enjoying the food? Okay, so I just need to let y'all know this is not an every month thing, okay? So sorry to deliver that bad news, but enjoy it tonight. So the district manager's report. First, let me say, Councilman Cornegay will be having his monthly advisory board meeting. That is this Saturday, September 14th, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. His guest speakers are the Brooklyn STEAM Center, Digital Economy, Brooklyn Navy Yard, Workforce Opportunities, Downtown Brooklyn, Make It in Brooklyn campaign, Community Board 8 zoning proposal, Rebel Scooters, Sharing Economy, Legislative Report, and Precinct Report. That is this Saturday, September 14th, 10 a.m. to 12 noon, right here at Restoration Plaza in the 1368 building right over there. The district manager's report is on the table. It's the yellow paper. I'm just trying to go through it, hit some highlights. I won't go through everything that's on it. For those who don't know, the MTA, the B38 bus, they started with the long articulated buses. That flyer about the buses is out there on the table. So those who don't know, those are the double long buses that'll be running on the B38. It started last week. CB3 did not lose any stops, unlike CB4, who lost a couple of stops, and I think 2 lost a stop. But CB3 did not lose any bus stops on the B38 line. There will be a couple of adjustments on the bus line at a couple of locations where they actually just have to extend the bus stop to fit those long articulated buses. We will be meeting with the 79th Precinct, Deputy Inspector Mitch soon to talk about the issues that are taking place along the Nostrand, Fulton, Herkimer corridor. There's a lot of things that are going on there that need to be dealt with. The inspector, they are aware of it. So we're just having a meeting with them to find out what is their plan and what other resources they may need. This is a situation that is not just on the precinct. We're going to have to get the Department of Homeless Service involved in this problem also. So this is along the Nostrand, Fulton, Herkimer corridor. National Grid, you may have heard that National Grid is not providing any new service. So that is still in effect. I mentioned that to you guys several months ago when the state
decided not to approve their plans for a new gas line. National Grid stated that they are at capacity and they can no longer take on any new customers. So right now, new businesses are being affected who are using gas service. New development is being affected. So this is an issue that needs to be resolved between National Grid and between our state officials. This is a state issue. So if you know anyone that's having this problem, have them reach out to their state elected officials within the district that they live in. Con Edison. At my June report, I reported that Con Edison stated they spent $1.5 billion in upgrades in New York City and Westchester region. But somehow we still had a blackout over the summer. So we need to get to the bottom of that. At the monthly district service cabinet meeting, Con Edison will be there to explain how did this happen. For those who don't know, several Nike developments lost power during the 2-3 day heat wave that we had. I can personally speak on that because my father building lost power, and I had to walk up 12 flights to go see him. And I found out I'm out of shape while walking up those 12 flights. So, also I want to mention that Department of Health. So this past summer, I did 10 site visits to 10 block associations. Because as you all know, the number one complaint within the district, well, one of the top 2 or 3 complaints within the district has been complaints about rat and the rat sightings that have been taking place in Bedford Stuyvesant. So I made a visit to 10 blocks over the summer with the sanitation department and with the Department of Health. So basically the purpose of those visits was to try to find out what's causing the problems on any particular block. If you get this report, you will see the 10 blocks that I went to, Malcolm X, Chauncey Fulton, DeKalb, Marcy, and Nostrand. I won't read through all of them, but basically what we found out is to be one of 6 causes that's causing this problem on your block. 1, it could be your neighbors not disposing of their trash properly. 2, it could be the businesses around your block who are not disposing of their trash properly. 3, sometimes it's our school. The schools are not disposing of their trash properly. 4, if your block is on top of a train station, for example, if you're on Lafayette, the G train runs on the Lafayette, that's a major problem. The 5th problem, empty lots. If you have empty lots on your block. And problem number 6, which is probably the main reason, is development. We have a lot of development taking place in Bedford Stuyvesant. So what happens is, developers are required to bait before they get a building permit. If they are not baiting, you need to call 311 and then call the community board office so we can come out there with the Department of Health. So if you are having that problem on your block, please 311 and then call the office. I will come out with the Department of Health. I will come out with sanitation to find out what exactly is the problem. Because if the Department of Health comes out without me, then they're going to give you a fine if they think it's in front of your property. If they find rat burrows, if they find rat droppings, they will give you a fine. So in order to prevent that, I've been making site visits in advance with them, so that way no one's getting fined. We're trying to rectify the problem instead of trying to find ourselves out of the problem. Also, the sanitation department, we finally won the case in court for us to get the property to get our new sanitation garage. For those who don't understand how important this is what's been going on in Bedford-Stuyvesant. Our garage is in a small garage in Williamsburg. That garage can only hold but so many trucks and equipment. So what happens when the morning shift goes out to pick up trash, because we have more builders, more people, more trash, that trucks get filled up very quickly. When those trucks go back to the garage, they're not coming back out. Their shift is probably over with. So now you have to depend on the PM shift to come pick up the garbage that was missed by the AM crew. What's happening sometimes is they're not telling the PM shift what blocks were missed. So we've had situations where garbage have sat out on blocks for 2 and 3 days. So with this new garage, it will be state-of-the-art garage. No trash will be brought back to that garage. It will be big enough to hold enough equipment, enough trucks, enough snow plow removers to service the Bed-Stuy community in a more efficient manner. You see all the development that's taking place, it's probably going to be 3 to 4 year project, hopefully shorter than that. We will have them come and do an informational presentation in the near future. Okay, just real briefly, a couple of announcements, flyers. As the councilman stated, emergency town meeting is taking place tomorrow, September 10th. Emergency town about the TPT issue. The flyer is out there on the table if you need the flyer. Once again, the Justice Town Hall with District Attorney Eric Gonzalez, Attorney General Letitia James, sponsored by the Honorable Olaniki Alabi. And I'm going to end it right there. I believe that is it. If you have any questions, I will be around. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here all night. If you have any questions, please just come over to me. Don't hesitate to, and I will answer to the best of my ability. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Butler. We're going to move on to our presentations. We have informational presentation on the capital expense budget. The presentation will be given by Anthony Bucerac, is TJ also, and TJ Wilson, committee chairs for the capital and
Good evening, everyone. My name is Anthony Bucerac.
Good evening, it's TJ Wilson.
And we're here to tell you about the budget process for 2021, which kicks off now for the budget year beginning next July 1 through June 30th of 2021. So if you have ideas about capital and/or expense items, please attend committee meetings this month. And it should be on every committee's agenda to discuss items that community is interested in getting funded.
This year, we've streamlined the process, well, Anthony has streamlined the process. And so please pay attention, because right now, before it was a little bit more complicated, but we're going to really ask that you don't send us any emails. There's going to be a form. Please fill it out, one request per form. And please, if you're talking about parks, don't mention housing. If you're talking about housing, don't mention parks, okay?
We're soliciting community requests via a survey that the board will share in the coming week. And then we'll also have hard copies of the survey at the October meeting. All requests will be submitted by the middle of October so that we can get the board's full request in by the end of October. One thing I want to mention is last year we submitted 23 capital requests. We can submit up to 40. So we should take advantage of the fact that we submitted 40 capital requests. Thank you.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yes, and committee chairs and vice chairs and co-chairs will be reaching out to you to tell you which of us will be working with you during this process. Okay, good night.
Okay, thank you. Please don't sleep on what they just talked about. This is part of the core mission of the community board to establish priorities for capital and expense items. So they're going to be sending information out. The committee chairs for the community board. It's essential that we get your input on what priorities you place for capital and expense items. And I'll just repeat what they said. At the October meeting, there'll be a chance for the public to provide input for capital and expense budget priorities for city resources. We have several public hearings coming up. So we're going to start. First public hearing is coming from the Economic Development Committee. Request for alcohol beverage control license application for Swole Cares LLC located at 283 Nostrand Avenue between Clifton Place and Green Avenue. The introduction for this agenda item will be given by the Chair of the Economic Development Committee, Mr. Taiwan Anthony.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Just to give a little brief something about the committee. Remember, we meet the first Thursdays of every month. So anyone interested in the process as far as SLA, learning about new businesses, please come to our meetings the first Thursday of every month. Coming up first, we have the alcohol beverage control license application at 283 Nostrand Avenue. 283 Nostrand Avenue. Are they here? Okay, there they are. So we have the presentation will be given by their legal record, the owner. Okay, so the owner is going to give the presentation. So please give her your attention. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Jillian. I am looking for letters of award calls. We are located at 283 Nostrand Avenue. The premise was formerly occupied by a restaurant called Lucha Lucha. We will be operating as a neighborhood restaurant just like them. Our hours of operation will be 12 p.m. to 1 a.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 12 p.m. to 2 a.m. Friday and Saturday. We'll be keeping basically the same layout, tables with 22 seats and a 12-seat bar food counter. There will be background music. There is one entrance exit to the restaurant. There's no outdoor seating. Site owner-operator, spending most of my time at this location. I've been in the industry for almost 20 years, working my way up from a bustler and now to owning my own business. I will be hiring 7 to 9 employees and concentrating hiring from the neighborhood. I've contacted Jobs Plus for information on hiring employees through them. We have submitted the required signatures and support from residents of the area and letters of support from local businesses. This is my floor plan. Here are pictures of the old place. I'm in the middle of construction, so I just took the pictures that were there before. That is the basement, which is used for prep area and storage. And then this is just part of my slide. I'm going to be getting my fish from Shipwreck, which I'm going to pick up daily or bi-daily, which is a block away. It's on Clifton and Bedford. And then working with services from the underserved for local herbs. And also my family owns a farm out on Long Island. They come to the farmer's market at Grand Army Plaza, so I'll be getting fresh vegetables and ingredients from them. And I partnered with a local Brooklyn chocolatier who's going to be helping me out with desserts. I'm also partnered through services for the underserved. Once a month I'll donate my tips to a program through the Marcy Houses that's for formerly disabled, formerly homeless adults with disabilities. So once a month I donate my tips to them. And then I'm also going to be doing a program once a month for a 2-hour block. I'll host a guest bartender who doesn't necessarily need experience, but I'll be with them walking so they get to learn a little bit of experience. Half the tips go to them and half the tips go to whichever program they'd like to donate to. There's just a bit about me, but I kind of right on here. Those are my support letters from local businesses. And these are my signatures. There's just a couple pages showing that I had the 25 signatures from local residents. And this is my proposed menu, which is basically sandwiches, salads, meat and cheese plates, and a few specials. Next page. And then dessert, which will be pie and chocolates. That's all I got.
Okay, so the presentation's finished. We're gonna have any, questions from, board members of the public at this time. We have a couple of mics, I guess,
Raise your hand if you have questions.
any questions? Yeah.
Hello, my name is Brother. Why do you have to sell alcohol?
Because I'm looking to do a bar and restaurant. I find that I make a lot of my sales on alcohol.
The community doesn't need another alcohol-run bar and restaurant on North Carolina. We don't need it. Why don't you sell sandwiches and that's it? We don't need no drunken customers coming out of there.
I mean, I'm not.
Listen, we don't need it. If you want to sell alcohol, go to the community board on 5th Avenue and 15th Street and open up your restaurant bar there. We don't need another bar drinking 2 blocks from a school, 2 blocks from a doctor's office. We don't need it. Community, we don't need it.
Thank you, Ray Ray. Are there any other questions from the public or board members? Is there a question?
Yeah, we have a question here.
Before we give it a vote.
What was the?
Please, give me.
Oh, sorry, community board member. What was there before?
Lucha. It was a burrito taco spot.
Any other questions? Board members or public? Okay, if not, the public hearing is closed. We're going to move to, thank you very much. We're going to move to our next agenda item. We have a second public hearing, also coming from the Economic Development Committee for alcohol beverage control license application for Chipotle Mexican Grill located at 774 Broadway. Introduction for this item will be given by the chair of the Economic Development Committee, Mr. Taiwan Anthony.
I put it on mute.
Okay, again, good evening, everyone. Good evening. We have our second public hearing for a alcohol beverage control license application for Chipotle Mexican Grill. They're located at 774 Broadway in Marcus Garden. So if a representative from Chipotle is here, please come up.
Greg, you have a mic? You guys got a presentation or anything? Huh? They don't have one. All right. You can stand over there.
Good evening.
You can move to the middle.
My name is Lee Cox. I'm the district manager for Chipotle. We have 9 restaurants in Brooklyn. We just opened a new restaurant on 774 Broadway. And again, we're petitioning for a liquor license. It's limited for beer, wine, and margaritas. Our hours of operation are 10:45 to 10 p.m. One of the ways that we will control the distribution of liquor is that we do not hire minors, so we really don't have minors handling our liquor in our restaurants. Basically, that's it.
Okay, you finished your presentation?
Yes.
All right, so we have a public hearing now. We have several mics. And when you start, if you can please give your name.
You have a question here?
Okay.
Hi, my name is TJ Wilson, board member. Over here. So when did the business model for Chipotle extend itself to include liquor in the menu, on the menu?
So Chipotle's been having liquor on their menus for the last 5-6 years.
Where?
So right now we were in Flatbush, Park Slope. We have 5.
And they have liquor there?
They do have liquor there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And are they located near a hospital? Those establishments?
Located near hospitals. We have one right across from an elementary school.
Okay. And how many seats, you know your presentation was really not good. You didn't tell us anything about the seating. You didn't give us any, I mean, the young lady before you did a great job. You know, like what's your average, it's just poor. I mean, come on. Like, give us some more information. How many seats do you have?
So we see about 50 people in our restaurant.
Okay.
Majority of our customers actually are our takeout customers.
And so how would you, okay, but if they're taking out customers, they're taking out the liquor too?
Well, no. We
How
don't
do
allow
you,
takeout.
how do you control that?
We control that through our cashier
And what's the time frame?
from 10:45 to 10 p.m.
So you're serving liquor from 10:45 in the morning?
To 10 p.m.
Till 10 p.m.
We got a bunch of other questions. I think we're gonna have to move on.
Any questions back here? Questions?
Yeah, we have somebody.
You got a hand up over there, Tom.
Well, we have a question here. We have a question here.
Hi, my name is Cassandra. I'm the parent coordinator at Brooklyn Transition Center, 5373K on Ellery Street. We, as a school, we're at District 75 school. We have a lot of students. We go into the community, we volunteer in the community. We're like a really community-based school. And I know that we actually was thinking of partnering with Chipotle. We were in talks of doing that. And how would you do that if you're selling alcohol?
So we do partner. We're talking to some disabled entities that have disabled children and so forth that are looking for jobs that we're working with. But we work.
Okay, so another question.
We have another question over here.
Can't see.
Good evening. My name is Dabu, homeowner on Howard Avenue. And the question is, why, if you have liquor being served at these other places for years, why do you need one in this area? What's the reason for that? Because we got a lot of alcoholics, we got a lot of depression, we got a lot of young kids, forget teenagers, we got young adults that's alcoholics, drug addicts, and we don't need any more liquor in our neighborhood, especially at 10:45 a.m.
But again, I appreciate that, appreciate your comments, and I do agree with that. We actually close at 10 every evening. Our liquor is really to complement our meals and our cuisine. If you eat Mexican food, margaritas, beer, it complements the food. So that's why we want to offer it. And it's typically for our adult customers. We are not selling liquor to children. All right, we have another question.
Taiwan, over here.
Hello, good evening. My name is Jasmine. You mentioned that you were the district manager for the area, and I just wanted to know how familiar are you with the areas in which this establishment is set up? I'm familiar with the area, living in the community. That's right across the street from Woolhall Hospital. We have a high rate of people that are overdosing with drugs in that community. So one of my big concerns is that with you serving alcohol, in addition to all the other drugs that's going on, it will have a trickle effect in the community. It's right around the corner from the project. You say you're not hiring anyone that's underage, but then when the summer times come and other seasons, how are you serving the community for those people that are seeking employment that are not necessarily 21 or older? So that's one of my things.
Right. So one of the things I want to make sure that I made clear is that we try to monitor who we're selling our liquor to very, very closely. So if you come to our restaurant to buy liquor, you are carded. We're asked for identification. We limit the number of drinks that you can have. So we try to monitor that very closely. It's training that our cashiers have to go through relative to serving liquor in our restaurants. So we try to control that very, very closely. Again, our attempt to get liquor is just to complement our cuisine. It's not mandatory. We have it in all of our restaurants in Brooklyn now. This restaurant on 774 Broadway, we just opened in March. So we're just trying to offer what we offer in the rest of our restaurants across the state.
Okay, any other questions?
Oh, we have,
Good.
I don't want anybody to ask. My name is Reginald Sweeney, so I just, he asked me to say hopefully I'll be a council person, so I can straighten out the liquor license issue one day, but here's a couple of questions that I got. Most of the folks that are applying for liquor license, I believe you came to the economic development meeting, and I was there, and your presentation, I read through it. You stated that you do a little, your organization helps out the community, different organizations. So one of the questions I'm going to ask is, if you can tell me, along with the rest of the folks, what community group and organizations have you been associating your corporate plan as far as reaching back to the community? I was over here getting a little something to drink, and the gentleman, they came over to me and he was just talking, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm outside, I'm a little cold. They mentioned that you guys do not adhere to the labor standards of the state of New York and the city of New York when it comes to respect to workers, a lot of exploitation with restaurants, with workers, undocumented. You notice that people, they fly around with the carts and they drop off the food. So one, who have you provided any type of outreach towards community-based services? And do you have any labor practice issues? Because I stated to them that if you're complaining about something and you didn't file a complaint with the Department of Labor, which is very serious, how you treat your workers, how you pay for benefits, working hours, and even the other thing with the other liquor license about our community parks, schools, and there should be a mandate on how long we should stay open so we can eliminate all of these concerns about, you already know, schools are an issue. So answer those two questions. That has satisfied my curiosity if you're a good employer, like most other ones tonight.
Okay. So let me answer your question relative to our adherence to New York City laws, particularly as it relates to labor. We adhere to just a single New York City labor legislation, fair work law. We don't typically hire minors. If we do, we have strict guidelines in terms of what we can allow them to do in our restaurants, and particularly we keep them away from liquor. Number two, I think we had a question around what we do with local groups. And about a year ago, up until about a year ago, all of our activity with local groups was handled by restaurants. That has changed. And any group that's interested in partnering with Chipotle can now basically access our marketing team via our corporate website. And we will work with that group to try to do fundraising and other activities. But that's the way we handle fundraising with local groups currently.
Yeah, I think we have a question.
Yeah, we have a question. We have two questions.
Yeah.
So does give funding currently to community groups that they got size?
Absolutely, yeah. All they need to do is.
Okay, I'm sorry, we have many people that have questions, so yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Celia Green. I am a mom of 6 young men, 4 of whom have disabilities. I am a D75 mother. I'm really concerned about the fact that 2 of the schools that are near that Chipotle are D75 programs. And there are at least 5 schools that I can think of off the top of my head, because I have direct relationship with those schools, that are either elementaries or middle schools. Okay, there's not a whole lot of high schools in that particular region. So I really don't know how well you're going to be able to monitor, when kids aren't in Chipotle, and if someone buys them something, or that they're not supposed to have. Another thing that sort of disturbed me is that you said, disabled entities. Disabled people. You were talking about disabled entities, but you couldn't even name any of the organizations that you're talking about. So it gives me the impression that, just those people or that thing or something like that. So I, to say the least, I'm not really impressed, and I really don't think that this particular liquor license is necessary right now.
Okay, so
Especially
you had two
given
questions,
proximity-
ma'am?
Especially given proximity to the amount of schools and the age range of the kids that are in those schools.
Okay.
We over here. Taiwan.
Hi, mi nombre es María Casa Medrano. Yo trabajo por Chipotle. Chipotle Mexican 504 6 Avenue por 3 meses.
Some will interpret afterwards.
He sido consciente compañero de trabajo con una voz para mejorar nuestras condiciones de trabajo, con cambiar la industria de comida rápida en general.
Hello, I'm Jack. I will be translating for her. I am her son. Hello, my name is Maria Jasa Montero, and I work for Chipotle Mexican Grill at 504 Fifth Avenue. Over the last several months, I have been standing together with my coworkers as one voice to improve our working conditions and change the fast food industry in general.
En el trabajo del 1977, trabajadores de comida rápida por toda la ciudad luchó y ganó la ley horario justo para establecer nuestros horarios y proveer un cambio ahora de trabajo.
In 2017, fast food workers across the city fought for and won the Fair Work Week law to stabilize our work schedules and provide us with a path to full-time hours. I started working in Chipotle in 2005. Since the laws began in 2017, I have seen the company regularly violate multiple provisions of this law, leaving myself and many coworkers stuck with irregular part-time hours. Along with hundreds of my coworkers at Chipotle across the city, I signed a petition demanding they comply with the Fair Work Week law, especially by offering us hours for hiring new workers. In May, my coworkers and I joined workers from 17 other stores to file a complaint with the Department of Consumer and Worker Protection, which is now investigating the company. Chipotle responded to our efforts to stand up for our rights with retaliation and threats. SEIU Local 32BJ has filed charges against Chipotle with the National Labor Relations Board, accusing the company of threatening workers who have stood together to fight for their rights, and firing one worker because of her organizing activity. These charges are currently under investigation. I have worked for Chipotle for more than 15 years. In my experience, I do not feel I can safely ask for a raise or that the company gives me respect.
Okay, you finished with your statement? Yeah. Okay, thank you. All right, we have a question.
Hi, Monique Antoine, board member and parent, as well as educator. So I heard you say that there weren't a lot of minors or any minors at all working at Chipotle. And as an educator, I know that I've spoken to students that work there, and I always take students in there. They frequent Chipotle. And during that rush hour, there's no way that your people are going to be able to keep checking ID. That slows down the productivity. So I'd like you to give a little background on the type of training that they're receiving, as well as would you consider not serving alcohol if you get approved to serve alcohol until after 6 p.m.
So let me be very clear. Alcohol has to be rung up at our cashier. And our cashier, we actually stop there. That's where our validation of our customers coming in terms of IDs and so on and so forth. So if you're gonna get liquor, that will slow down the process. That's just part of our process. You can't get liquor without getting identified and make sure that you are legal. And all of our cashiers are trained on it. So typically, when you hire into Chipotle, if you become a cashier, because that's where our control starts, you are the person that's responsible for checking IDs for folks that are getting liquor. So that person will go through pretty much a 3-4 day training session in terms of learning all the ins and outs of managing the cashiers, doing the identification of individuals that are coming through purchasing liquor. So it's a pretty detailed process. You don't just do it overnight, and you are supervised as you go through that process. But all of our cashiers are trained in